Hey, so we're doing more cover-ups today.
Awesome.
Always more cover-ups out there.
Always. So many cover-ups.
Literally
guys.
always more of these. I think multi-layer is going to be the way of the future, given the fact that futurists are now saying we're going to be living forever in 2030.
Oh, I can only hope. I'd love to be a vampire.
Yeah, we're really going to need to figure out a way to keep changing our tattoos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited for the day. I think Canadian scientists at one point were working on a cream that you put on your tattoos and it goes away. I haven't looked into the news about it, but it was quite a while ago. But it gives me happy.
I just think stuff like what I've been doing is going to be real popular in about a decade.
Oh, yeah. Or like if laser improves, people are going to like laser through their blackouts.
I think laser goes away. I really do. I don't think laser's going to be around for much longer. I think they'll either develop another technology that's better than that, or people will just get aware of the fact that you can just do more.
Right? Tattoo skin tone over your...
You can do whatever the fuck you want, so...
Black.
I think laser's going out.
All right, so we're going to start with an email. So it says, "Hey there, love your content. This is a cover-up. Had done a few years ago. Compared to how it looked before, I'd just say this is a big improvement. Just wanted to share some of my work and keep up the awesome content, Remy." So...
Yeah, it's a weird mess and like super, super hard to read.
Yeah, what is that? Like a scratch through a skin-rippy skull with a claw and...
Some kind of a skull attached to like a sumi wave or something, and like a wing at the bottom. Just like a whole bunch of random crap. This is like all you can get out of a bargain for $10 kind of a tattoo.
This is a Frank.
This is worse than Frank. This is on your arm. Frank is adorable.
So every skull is definitely, if extremely bad skulls, they get to be Frank. One day we'll show you guys Frank again. We'll take a proper picture. I love him. And what did we turn it into? Cthulhu, or is this another sleeve?
Yeah, this is the same guy.
Okay.
This is just redone. Seemingly like this is what I think this is kind of like what he wanted it to be. Kind of looks like Deadpool if he was a squid or something.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like a Cthulhu.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's kind of or something like that, but like it doesn't quite have the proportions to be. Right? Like he needs like a big long head on him and...
Yeah. No, I mean, and this definitely is more readable and it looks better. It's still a little bit flat, but this might be your photo.
This is the in-between, though.
Okay.
This is not finished.
Do we got it finished? Let's see.
Yeah. So
we added color.
That was... and once again, as I always say, adding color will differentiate things and make them make more sense. It definitely helped here.
It did help. I don't like the color. It definitely looks better in color, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it looks way better in color.
Oh, yeah.
I just think there's not enough different colors going on. So this was fresh, and then I think we have the healed, too.
Right?
So I think we have the healed in
Do we have a
too.
healed?
Yeah.
Let's look.
So that's what it looks like now.
Oh, yeah. No. Like, definitely, I think the color does look really nice. I liked the gray shade stylistically better, but that's just me. I just have a preference for that. The green is nice and soft.
I think the only problem with black and gray shading, especially when it's this small, is like it's really hard to pick anything apart.
It was hard to read. This is definitely not hard to read.
Contrast in that.
I still think you should throw some more blacks in those deep lines, or maybe dark green.
Oh, this could be made 100% better with about an hour from a tattooer that was aware of what he was doing. Like you just put some harder black in, maybe put a few white highlights in places.
Yeah.
Maybe even some yellow highlights I can see.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like yellow highlights might look really cool on this one.
I would get rid of like whatever the fuck is going on up top and whatever the fuck is going on underneath too.
What is that? Like a flock of birds or bats or something? And then there's some sort of winged guy in clouds.
I'm always
down there. I don't know. Black it out.
I'm confused about like how you fix up one tattoo and think that's good. I'll leave the rest of the mess.
Right? Yeah. You're gonna keep the rest of my mess.
That part doesn't make sense to me. So
It doesn't make sense to me either, to be quite honest. But I think this is a work in progress.
I don't know if it is.
You don't think so? You think they like the rest of their sleeve?
He said this was a few years ago.
Oh, geez.
In the email, he said that this was done a few years ago. This is it today.
Well, after today, it's a work in progress.
Well, it should be, and I mean, we always should be. Like, I see so many people walking around with fucking garbage sleeves that don't make sense. And
we were talking about this like the other day. Like, are you guys blind? Like, when did we forget like what good art was? There's a tattoo artist in the city that we're from, and they got kicked out of one shop, and then they started their own shop, and they have clients, and they can't draw. Like, they can't. It's awful. It's not even kind of good.
Well, it's not even that he can't draw. He also can't saturate skin.
Yes.
But there's tons of those in this city. What I've figured is the city we live in, that people have a taste for garbage. Like you could have the same price tag on a good tattoo or a bad tattoo, and they'd choose the bad one.
Right? It's like you go and look at these guys' pages, and like there's like mashed up baby faces everywhere, and someone thinks, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna go get a portrait from them.
Yeah, this guy who can't draw a straight line, I'm gonna have this guy do my loved one's memorial portrait.
yeah. And I think it always comes down to how much it costs, and you guys,
I don't know. I
pay
really
some
think
money.
that even if it's the same price, there are certain people who like the bad one. They like the taste of trash.
Or
they
they
like
just
it
have
in their mouth.
no eye for what good art is.
I don't know. I really think there's a deep desire to wear garbage. So back to this tattoo, what I would say is you've got a lot more work to do, and this should be a lesson in sizing, because this thing is in a strange location on the arm, and he's too small.
It's a really, really, really weird place for Frank Fulu.
but I do like him, and he has character. It's just you need to get rid of whatever the hell else that mess is, and just kind of give this guy a fresh lease on life.
Yeah, make him happy.
He's attached to too much old baggage.
Yeah, make him happy. Give him some Cthulhu-y friends. Name them George and Ben, and it'll be great.
Just some more creepy critters instead.
Yeah, more creepy critters, please. All right, so I'm going to read another email. So this one says, hey, Remy. Love the series, so I thought I'd send in a picture of what I have. I started in 2020 and ended in late 2021. There are 2 cover-ups. Oh, more cover-ups.
Yep, that's this one.
In there as well. This was 4 3 to 4 hour sessions by the same guy, and I haven't had any touch-ups on the red yet either. I want to cover up the crap on my upper arms once I finish down the torso. I also want to cover up the rest of the nipples. Good, cover your nipples. With the next continuation
That's a deposit
of
if you're
work.
working with me.
Trying to figure out what to tie the chest together, though. You guys have any ideas? All right, let's see.
So that's
bear
what he
stencil,
had.
wolf stencil, wolf and bear stencil, wolf and bear. Okay.
See, the thing is they both look like bears. They don't look like wolf and bear to me.
I mean, yeah, I can see the difference between wolf and bear. It's very, very subtle.
Yeah, here's the thing. Wolf and bear look almost the same, and all that changes them is the shading.
Yeah.
Like there's some ear structure differences and shit.
Oh, and the wolf's little mane thing is a little different. I mean, yeah. Oh, man. Are you going to cover your nipples with flowers?
I mean, I would just build the shading off of these guys. Really, I would just have soft whip shading off of them if I was going to do anything to connect them. If you connect them with anything else, they're going to kind of blob up, and they're already kind of blobby. I would recommend a hard line around the outside of these guys pretty much immediately.
Chess piece really reminds me of circa 2010 hardcore shows, and I kind of like it, but I kind of hate it at the same time. I don't know what you're going to put in the middle of them.
I mean, that's what I said. I think you just need to whip shade, some soft shading or something tonally different than the black, so they don't get completely lost.
Right? Yeah, because once you start adding more dark elements around these guys, if that's what you do, you're going to completely lose. You're going to completely lose everything.
It'll just be 2 floating blob faces.
Well, two
They-
floating red mouths that are angry for some reason.
The real problem is nothing is like lined. There's no line weight anywhere.
No hard lines.
Though there's not lines at all. I don't see any lines anywhere. It's just color and shading.
Yeah, color and blobby.
There's almost like, even though that the only thing that is oddly crispy is the fur of the wolf is like kind of spiky.
Yeah, well, because it's the wolf, right? Wolves have spiky fur.
Well, it's just everything else is so fucking soft. Would it kill you to put a hard line around the teeth?
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. Is like, I
Maybe a
think
white
that they had said, I think these aren't done. I would really suggest throwing some white in those teeth, make them real shiny and vicious.
I mean, I like the idea.
I do too.
Like, this is really cool. I like the use of red, but like, I think I would also black out the clavicles and those fucking roses.
Oh, I don't like. I like the roses. They date the tattoo, I think. For me, I see more floral getting incorporated into this to bring it all together. Unless like you throw some like paws and claws in there, which I think is really lame. So don't do that.
Placement is bizarre.
2010 hardcore scene. This is like, I want a fucking bear on my chest.
But it's not just that. Like, the placement is obnoxious.
It is.
Like, it makes his whole chest look so lopsided.
Well, it's unevenly placed. Sorry, dude.
And the wolf is coming in at a tilt, and the bear is looking you dead on, and it just seems obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, I wish this had been placed in a way that would have been less offensive.
Right? Like, move that bear over like a half, quarter inch, something like that. Maybe Benny and June here would look a little bit better.
I think the wolf should be on less of a tilt and closer to the nipple.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking right away. Because, like, I wouldn't have... And then there'd be more space in the middle that way, too.
Yeah, I mean...
Something.
But, so, like, we can't change these things unless we black it out, which I'm a fan of.
There are still some things to do here.
Oh, yeah. You gotta decorate all around it.
If you build the fur out on that wolf at the bottom right on this picture...
Yep.
And so that it looks closer to the nipple... and closer to the side of his arm, then it doesn't look as lopsided.
Oh yeah, you could probably even bring out bear's fur to make it look a little less lopsided too.
Well, I don't want to bring out the bear's fur anymore. It's out far enough.
Okay.
The wolf's just isn't. It isn't, because look how much more of the side of his chest there is on the wolf side.
I guess that's true. I see what you're saying.
It's way more. And it just has this look like it was placed too close or wrong.
Yeah, the placement is a little awkward for sure.
But you can definitely just do more fur there.
Yeah.
Now, I think another big animal head in the sternum stomach area would probably be a good idea at this point.
Do a deer.
Yeah, like another big animal head, and do it like intentionally the same way, because you've got so much of this cover-up stuff going on now.
Yeah.
It's like what I said about that one with the opaques used. Like, if you have that tone already and you don't use that tone again, it makes these guys look worse by comparison.
All right, here's my vision. Deer head with big badass antlers with like freaking flowers and shit, because you gotta incorporate those flowers somehow. Jeremy just wants to get rid of them. Whatevs.
Well, you can do them again later somewhere else.
And we're being hunted by a wolf and a bear. It sounds great. You should do it.
I just think, yeah, unless you go in full color, the only thing to do in the center is to whip shade some soft shading off of these guys and push them into the foreground. Because, like, they're really, really not right now. Like, they're really just too... I just feel like anything you put around them will just blend into them because they're not lined enough.
Yeah, that's my biggest worry. But I think you could definitely, because where it's falling flat for me is in the, I like their red faces. Like, I like that. I think that's kind of a really neat stylistic choice. I just want to see highlights in there.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll make it look less flat.
Some separation would be good. But, like, I see, like, a fucking screaming bat head on this guy's throat in the same...
Ooh.
And then, yeah, some kind of critter on the middle of his stomach, too.
A deer.
And just make a theme of this. But in order to do that, you should get rid of certain elements. Like, you should black out those flowers around the fucking clavicles. Those are really, really... Those don't do any justice at all to what else is happening. Like, that's really weird stylistically to be sitting with these bear and wolf.
Well, I mean, a lot of people they go on the internet or whatever and they see a tattoo and they go, I want that there.
Yeah.
And then they get
And
that
that's
there,
what
right?
he's done.
And those clavicle flowers, those shoulder roses, they were trendy at one point. I think everybody got them. I'm surprised that this guy didn't have like some sort of font chest rocker that said something like,
Well, he had some
life
kind
is
of
hard.
font earlier.
Did he?
I think
Oh,
so,
missed
in the
that.
first one. Anyway, the point is, he's trying to grow up from all that, and
Yeah.
he said in the email that he's trying to cover his old mistakes.
Yeah.
And I'm telling him, to go with this like beast face thing you've got going. I think do like a bat face somewhere, whether on your throat or your
throat, or under these two other beasties. Minnie
You've got
and June.
color. You could potentially do like color background or just some whip shading off of the faces. But I do think that you should at least outline the faces with a hard, thick black outline, so that they just pop off a little more before you do anything in between them, or else you're going to lose the only definition that is there now, I think. Otherwise, I quite like them. They're unique, but
I like them. Highlight the teeth.
yeah.
I'm happy then.